There comes a quiet moment in life when you realize your body doesn't recover the way it used to. A small walk leaves you winded. Food doesn't give you energy. It just fills the space. You might look in the mirror and wonder, is this just aging or is something missing? At 91, I've asked myself the same thing. I grew up in a small fishing village in Japan. We had no cars, no supermarkets, just the land, the sea, and what our hands could prepare. We didn't talk about nutrition back then. But somehow, we knew how to stay well. Not just long, but well. Every day, we ate a few simple foods. The same ones I still eat today. Not because they're trendy, but because they work. And if you let me, I'd love to share them with you. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching this from? And what time is it for you right now? Please let me know in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. A bowl of warm rice and the sound of chopsticks. I was born in a small coastal village in the north of Japan, where winters were long and summers smelled of the sea. Life was quiet, and most of our days followed the rhythm of the land and tide. We didn't have much money, but we had something far more valuable, a way of eating that made us feel whole. Every morning, I would wake to the gentle clatter of chopsticks and the soft hum of my mother's voice in the kitchen. She always started the fire before sunrise, using charcoal and care. The smell of steamed rice filled the air. It was our anchor, our beginning. Breakfast was never rushed. A bowl of white rice, still warm. A small bowl of miso soup, always with seaweed, tofu, sometimes daikon radish. A piece of grilled fish, eaten whole, bones and all. And always a small dish of tsukemono, pickled vegetables that tasted of salt and thyme. We sat on the floor around a low wooden table called a chabudi, my grandfather with his quiet strength, my father smelling of the sea, my siblings still rubbing sleep from their eyes. No television, no phones, just the sound of chopsticks and breath. Looking back, I realize we were not just eating food. We were receiving life. Everything on the table had a story. The rice came from a neighbor's field. The miso was homemade, fermented over months. The fish was caught hours earlier. Nothing was processed. Nothing was wasted. We didn't call it nutrition. We didn't talk about calories or carbs. But that food, that rhythm, it gave us strength. My grandfather lived to 102. My father lived to 97. None of them went to the gym. None of them took pills. They just ate well, every single day. Sometimes, I think we've made eating too complicated, too lonely, too fast, but the body remembers, and so does the heart. Even now, when I hold a bowl of warm rice between my hands, I feel my mother beside me. I hear the soft click of chopsticks against porcelain. And I remember, this is how we cared for each other. This is how we lived. Shokuiku. The wisdom behind every bite. When I was a child, no one used the word shokuiku. It wasn't a lesson in school. It was simply how we lived. But now, looking back, I understand. Shokuiku was everywhere. Shokuiku means food education, but not in the way you might imagine. It's not about rules or restrictions. It's about learning how to care for your body through food, how to choose what nourishes you, and how to listen when your body says, enough. My mother never measured calories, but she always knew what each season gave us. In spring, we ate bitter greens to wake the body up after winter. In summer, we had cooling vegetables like cucumber and eggplant. In autumn, We steamed sweet potatoes and gathered mushrooms. In winter, she made stews with root vegetables and warming miso. This is the heart of shokuiku, to eat with the seasons, to stay connected to the earth, to let nature guide your plate. When I moved to Tokyo in my 20s, I saw something different. People eating quickly, alone, standing up. Food wrapped in plastic, heated in a microwave, swallowed without a pause. And slowly, they began to forget what real food tasted like. Now, I watch as many people in America struggle the same way. So many are tired even when they eat a full plate. So many are sick even when they try to eat healthy, because it's not just what you eat, it's how and why. Shokuiku teaches us to slow down, to chew, to feel the texture, the warmth, the life in each bite. It reminds us that food is not a transaction, it's a relationship. And when we treat food with respect, our bodies respond with strength, our minds with clarity, our hearts with gratitude. You don't need to be Japanese to practice shokuiku. You just need to begin noticing. What does your body truly need today? What foods make you feel alive, not just full? The 6 foods that have carried me gently through time. I never counted calories. I never followed any strict rules. Yet here I am, 91 years old, still able to climb stairs without pain, still able to sleep through the night, still able to laugh after a good meal. If there is a secret, it lives quietly in the bowl and plate. In the foods I've eaten almost every day of my life. Let me share them with you, not as a prescription, but as an invitation. These 6 foods are simple, unremarkable even, but they have kept my bones strong, my blood clear, and my spirit steady. 1. Miso soup. A gentle start to every morning. When I wake, before anything else, I reach for a small bowl of miso soup. It's not fancy, just miso paste dissolved in hot water with a few pieces of tofu, wakame seaweed, and perhaps thin slices of green onion or daikon. Miso is fermented soy, alive with beneficial bacteria that help digestion and support immunity. But beyond science, it gives a kind of warmth that settles the stomach and quiets the mind. It tells your body, the day has begun. You are safe, you are nourished. Even now, when I travel or feel unwell, it's the first thing I crave. You can find good quality miso in most health stores in America. Just a teaspoon in warm, not boiling water is enough to begin. 2. Natto, the strongest medicine on the plate. Many Americans flinch when they see natto, sticky, pungent, fermented soybeans that stretch into long strings when stirred. I understand. It's a bold taste. But it is one of the reasons why so many Japanese elders, especially men, live past 90 with strong hearts and clear arteries. Natto contains nattokinase, an enzyme that supports healthy blood flow and may reduce the risk of clots. It's also rich in vitamin K2, which helps move calcium into the bones and out of the arteries, something crucial as we age. In my family, we ate natto over warm rice with a dash of soy sauce and chopped scallions. Some added mustard or a raw egg yolk. Today, I still eat it 3 times a week. You can find frozen natto in many Asian markets in the US. Start with a small spoonful. Let your taste buds adjust. Your body already knows how to welcome it. 3. Small whole fish, from head to tail. We didn't have steak. We had sardines, mackerel, smelts. We grilled them whole, bones, heads, skin, and all, nothing wasted. Eating small fish whole gave us calcium, omega-3 fatty acids, iron, and protein, all in a single bite. We didn't need supplements. The fish gave us what our bones and brains needed. Now, when I visit my grandchildren in America, I see refrigerators full of skinless chicken breasts and boneless fillets. So clean, so removed. But what if you added back the whole fish just once a week? Canned sardines or frozen mackerel are easy to find. Pan fry them with lemon or toss them onto a salad. They may not look elegant, but they carry the wisdom of the sea. 4. Cooked leafy greens, gentle strength. We never ate raw spinach. My mother would quickly blanch or steam greens, then squeeze out the water and season with a little soy sauce or sesame paste. Cooked greens are softer on the stomach, especially for older bodies. The warmth helps circulation. The fiber supports digestion, and the minerals, iron, magnesium, calcium, are more available when the leaves are gently cooked. I still eat greens with almost every meal. Spinach, komatsuna, mustard greens, or even kale, if prepared kindly. You can saute them with garlic, or steam and drizzle with sesame oil. Your body will feel the difference. 5. Semi-polished rice, not too white, not too brown. In our home, we didn't eat pure white rice. My mother used musanmai, a semi-polished rice that kept some of the bran. It gave us fiber, B vitamins, and a steadier kind of energy. Too much polishing removes the life from rice, but too much bran can be hard to digest, especially for elders. So we found a balance, soft enough to enjoy, whole enough to nourish. Try mixing white and brown rice, or look for sprouted brown rice, gaba rice, which is easier to digest and full of nutrients. Serve it warm, with a sprinkle of sesame seeds or furikake. It is not just filling, it's grounding. 6. Green tea, a daily pause for peace. Every afternoon, my grandmother would boil water and steep green tea leaves. No sugar, no milk, just tea, and quiet. Green tea is gentle on the heart. It calms the nerves. The catechins support brain health, and the warmth soothes the stomach. But more than that, tea was a ritual, a moment to pause, to reflect, to breathe. I still drink 2 cups a day, sometimes more. I invite you to try it, not just as a beverage, but as a break, a pause between everything else. How you eat matters just as much as what you eat. In my village, no one ever said mindful eating, but that's exactly what we did. Before every meal, we placed our hands together and said, "Itadakimasu." It means, I humbly receive, not just the food, but the work behind it. The rice farmers, the fishermen, the soil, the rain, even the animal. If meat was served, nothing was taken for granted. We didn't eat in silence, but we ate with respect. We didn't snack while walking. We didn't eat while watching television. The meal was the moment, and it was always shared. One of the most powerful teachings I learned came not from a doctor, but from my grandmother. She used to say, "Harahachi bu." It means, eat until you're 80% full. Not full, not stuffed, just enough. She said the last 20% was for breathing, for gratitude, for ease, and that practice, done 3 times a day, for a lifetime, may be more powerful than any medicine. Today I see so many people rushing their meals, eating in the car, finishing a sandwich in 3 bites, swallowing without chewing, then wondering why their stomach hurts, why they feel tired, why sleep never comes easily. I want to tell them, your body is not a machine. It listens to how you treat it. And meals are conversations, not commands. Even now, at 91, I chew slowly. I put down my chopsticks between bites. I notice the texture of the rice, the smell of the miso, the warmth of the tea. I take my time, not because I'm old, but because the food deserves it. So does your body. Try this tonight. Sit at your table, even if you're alone. Put your phone away. Prepare a small plate, just enough. Before you eat, say, "Thank you," in whatever way feels natural. Then chew slowly. Taste everything. You may be surprised by how full you feel without overeating, how calm you feel without taking anything extra. Food, eaten with respect, becomes something more than food. It becomes healing. My friend Tanaka, who walked gently to 104 when I was a boy, there was an old man in our village named Tanaka-san. He lived just down the hill from us, in a small wooden house with paper walls and a garden full of eggplants and shiso leaves. He was already in his 70s when I was a child, but he moved like the wind, slow, soft, steady. Every morning, I saw him walk to the shrine, bow his head, and sweep the leaves from the steps. He never missed a day, even in the rain, even when the wind blew strong through the cedar trees. His presence was as constant as the sunrise. He never went to the doctor unless he had to. He never took vitamins. He didn't read health magazines, but he did the same things every day, like a quiet ritual. He woke with the sun. He drank warm water with a pinch of salt. He ate a bowl of miso soup with rice and pickled plums. He tended his garden, pulling weeds gently with his bare hands. He walked, barefoot when he could, feeling the earth under his feet. And every afternoon, he sat by his open window, sipping green tea and listening to the birds. He didn't need entertainment. He listened to wind. He watched the light move through the trees. He noticed small things, the scent of yuzu in the air, the first cicada of summer, the way a cloud shifted across the sky. When I visited him, he always offered me roasted sweet potatoes wrapped in newspaper. He would smile and say, "Eat slowly. They taste sweeter that way." And they always did. I remember sitting on his porch, both of us quiet, chewing slowly, the paper warm in my hands. Tanaka-san lived to 104. He passed away quietly, in his sleep, with no pain, no fear, and no regrets. His home was still clean. His garden was still growing. His shoes were still by the door, ready for another walk. What I remember most is not his age, but his calm, his presence. He never hurried. He never raised his voice. He moved like someone who trusted life, someone who was at peace with his body, because he had never fought against it. People often ask me now, "What's the secret?" And I think of Tanaka-san. He didn't chase health, he just lived it. He didn't do more. He did less, with more care. He didn't try to be young. He honored the season he was in. That is the gift I wish to pass on. Not just what to eat, but how to live. With rhythm, with attention, with deep and quiet joy. Small shifts, big change. You don't need to move to Japan or follow a perfect plan to feel better. Healing doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be fast. Often, it begins with one quiet choice, done with care. When people ask me, "Where do I start?" I tell them, just begin with what feels possible, not what feels impressive. Because small changes, done daily, become part of who you are. And that is where real strength lives. Start your mornings with warmth. Instead of cold cereal or toast, try a small bowl of miso soup. It doesn't need to be homemade. You can find good quality instant miso paste. Just dissolve a spoonful in warm, not boiling water. Add soft tofu, a few greens, or dried seaweed if you like. This one shift brings warmth to your digestion and calm to your nervous system, especially important as we age. Replace one heavy meal each week with something lighter. Maybe it's dinner. Instead of red meat, try grilled fish, sardines, mackerel, or salmon. Pair it with cooked greens and warm rice. Your body will recognize the ease, and you may sleep better that night. Turn raw into warm. Raw salads can be hard for older stomachs. Try lightly steaming spinach, bok choy, or kale. Toss with sesame oil or a sprinkle of sea salt. It feels softer, more nourishing, and supports better circulation, especially if you often feel cold hands and feet. Breathe between bites. Don't rush. Between each bite, put down your fork or chopsticks. Chew slowly. Let the flavors settle. Your digestion will thank you. So will your heart. Drink tea with presence. Pick one moment in your day, perhaps mid-afternoon. Brew a cup of green tea. Sit by the window. No phone, no screen. Just tea and you. This small ritual can do more for your stress than any pill. Try harahachi bu. Eat until you're just about full, maybe 80%. This is not about restriction. It's about respect for your body, for your breath, for the space to feel light instead of heavy after every meal. Adjust your rice. If you eat white rice, try mixing in a little brown rice or barley. It slows down digestion and helps keep your energy steady. Over time, your taste will adapt, and so will your strength. These are not rules, they are quiet acts of care. You don't have to do them all at once. Choose one. Let it become familiar. Then add another. The path to well-being is not a sprint. It's a walk, steady, gentle, and yours to take. The body responds to kindness. So begin with one small kindness today, a message from someone who has lived a long, quiet life. There is something I've come to understand after all these years. Growing old is not something to fear. It is something to respect, not just in others, but in yourself. When I was young, I thought health meant strength, muscles, speed, endurance. But now I see, true health is quiet. It is the steady beat of a calm heart. It is waking up without pain. It is laughing with your grandchildren. It is walking to the kitchen with steady legs and making a warm bowl of soup with your own hands. I've lived through war, hunger, and loss. I've lost friends, buried family, watched the world change faster than I could keep up. But through it all, I never stopped taking care of my body, not with fear, but with love. Every day, I made time for simple things. Eating slowly, drinking tea, sitting in the sun, tending a plant, breathing deeply, saying thank you before each meal. These things are not small. They are life itself. And now, I want to tell you, it's not too late. It's not too late to change the way you eat, to bring more peace into your day, to feel stronger than yesterday. Not because you did something dramatic, but because you returned to what matters. Your body is still listening. Your heart is still open. Your life is still yours. So begin today, not with urgency, but with intention. Eat gently, move slowly, rest fully, love deeply, and give thanks for the years behind you and the moments still ahead. Thank you for sitting with me. If you've listened this far, I want to thank you, not just for your time, but for your presence. Sometimes what we need most is not a solution, but a reminder that it's okay to slow down, that simple things still hold great power. That food, when made with care, can bring not just strength to the body, but peace to the heart. I don't know what season of life you're in right now, but wherever you are, I hope this gave you a small moment of warmth, like sitting with an old friend, like hearing a story you didn't know you needed. You are not alone on this path, and the road ahead, no matter your age, is still full of quiet beauty. So take your time, eat gently, and when you're ready, come back. I'll be here with another story to share. And if you'd like to leave a note below, I'll be waiting to read it.